Wow, right. All right. Wow. So we are opening at 7:17. Um, somebody needs to take minutes. Oh, do you do that or? Okay, great. So
Lost the sound with that move. Got a nice side view of Luke, but no sound. Luke, are you talking? Because I can't hear you. You have your speakers turned off.
I got wonder.
Better.
Music is still down below.
Well, one will be, so yeah. Yeah, I would assume that the mics are attached to this one over here, because that's where everything's coming from.
Scan correct. Can you hear us, Linda?
Yes, that's better.
Okay. All right, so we are trying to get the agenda. It's all different screen walls, small screens, yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. So we have no other items on the agenda except to talk about the outline revisions. We start with Luke Samba and we have your information sent to us. We appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, there's comp plan revisions and then the DRB conversation.
So kind of two separate.
Too. Yeah, so I don't know if there's one you prefer to start with.
Well, I'll be honest, I just got into the survey. And I thought that that was very illuminating.
Alright.
And I have not really gotten into the DRB.
Yeah, we'll kind of talk about that. We can do this about it first. So I brought copies of the report that has all of the results from the survey and the workshop.
Nicely done.
Yeah, a lot of this is it has the full survey results at the back. So
Yeah.
a lot of it is just that with the first few pages are
Yeah, but your summary is good. Yeah. I like going through the individual songs there and kind of funny. So the other percentage of often quite a range of factor name.
Yeah, there's a lot where people sort of have different opinions that kind of cancel each other out sometimes, but I mean there are a few things that everyone is pretty much in agreement on. You got from repeatedly is like the self-service issue, the same things we talked about at the worksheet, basically. Self-service issue. People want there to be more service. And also something to be done with Brigham Academy.
I think that has been sold.
Yeah, I heard that there's been some progress on
Whoever told me that it had been sold was, you can tell them what it was gonna be used for, that's.
It's fading in and out.
So make sure you use the mic to record it out.
I don't think those are, I think it's this one that's hooked up. Let me try this. We can always mute this for 1 second. Linda, we're gonna mute for 1 second. I just want to make sure.
Okay. Speaker on this one shows it blocked.
There's not enough to fit into a high ranking, but they're good to. Figure out see what people's interests are. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now?
I hear nothing.
So we're muted, so you gotta unmute us. I'm not sure if it's the other, the other computer maybe on the.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this one. It's not letting me access it, but I can hear.
Okay, now that's not muted. Can you hear that, Linda?
Yeah.
Can you hear it, Linda?
What is it?
Wow, it's not even, it was also bar.
It keeps breaking up. It's choppy.
Not sure what the problem is. It could be our side or your side.
A big red line when I first.
That's better.
Okay.
I'm just gonna turn off the noise removal because it might be like filtering us out a little bit. Let's try that.
It's odd that it's not even registering.
Yeah.
Is there another word that we are missing?
I think that it was fun to do the same thing.
Don't really need to sign.
Connected to. Where's this connected to? But this, there's nothing connecting this
I was surprised, I thought it was all.
to here.
Yeah, where's the other
It's actually the whole thing. That's one of the questions I have, is how many, is it possible for us to know how many people are both here and hold on a survey, is that?
That is weird. Usually just but there is
The purpose of the ask,
to this, you know what I mean? Just from this, which runs the.
There's this thing. Let's try this.
Okay, well, I think we just have to mute.
You guys, I don't even remember this being.
Test. Okay, so town of Bakersfield muted.
No, that's okay.
Lower
You have
one's
me down
green.
here. The other tab that is.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Can you talk into the microphone for a second?
Come in, Linda. Can you hear us?
Test.
Wait a minute. Yes,
Linda, you hear us?
I can, thank you.
So it does say not hearing anything, turn up volume, I assume that's
That's
okay?
because you're on the other one, yeah. It's not looking at, both are signed in as Town of Bakersfield, but one's the host and the other one's the host.
Yeah, we have to turn off everything on that so it doesn't
Yeah.
echo.
If you want to turn that off, we don't really need the back screen. I'm not sure if that's going to be helpful in eliminating.
Yeah, as long as it's muted and everything, it should be.
Well, okay, the internet's back up, the internet was down.
Then you walked away from it and I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Linda, one more time. Can you hear us?
Right now I can. You walk away from some speaker or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on the laptop.
It looks like she's trying to
Because
speak,
you got
right?
the
When it
whole
goes...
speaker turned off.
Okay, so yeah, I think that was, but we have to get rid of that.
Does this have to be plugged in over there? Oh, I bet this goes in way over there.
So there was some good ideas in here that we definitely want to
Yeah.
keep
True.
during the revision process. Your point about you got a handful of people in the event that kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, it's hard to. It seemed like in general, more than 50% like the zone as it is. The no's were less, but strident.
Correct. Which is,
Yeah, for sure.
we're just gonna talk so that you have something to have for feedback.
I bet this was hooked over.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, let's move it back. Yeah, I bet this is such a dinosaur that it's not.
One, two, three.
Okay, I think this should work.
Testing, one, two, three.
Hey, Luke's here. Screen's pretty wild.
I don't think she's actually got her camera.
I think she's got it covered.
Right.
Yeah.
Linda, can you hear us?
I can as long as you speak up.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll do that.
Um, yeah, so basically the purpose of this outreach report is that the next step for the town plan before we start drafting, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna look at the vision statement and write sort of a shared town vision based on the responses to the survey and from the workshop. So taking some of the things that people say that they like about Bakersfield and also some of the goals that people have for Bakersfield. Um, and then also looking at all the goals and policies of the town plan and sort of revising those based on what people's priorities are for the town to focus on. So that's what we're going to do in the next day. And this is sort of going to be the basis for that, the themes of the outreach report. And of course, you'll have time to sort of revise everything. You don't have to take it all directly from here, but that's going to be the starting point. Does anyone have any other sort of questions or thoughts about this?
One question I had was whether we have a way to assess whether the 79 responses were any duplicates from the workshop versus the mailing.
You didn't notice any identical ones, did you?
I didn't notice any responses where I was like, oh, these seem like identical. And I think we instructed people at the workshop to only fill out the survey if they hadn't done it already. And I think hopefully people like honored that and didn't submit
Do you think
duplicates.
that 7% is a reasonable number for?
Yeah, I think for a town of this size, that's like a pretty good participation rate. And like if you think about the amount of people that we had in person at the workshop too, that was also a good turnout. And so I think we can definitely say that we've done our due diligence and getting town feedback for this plan.
And I guess the other question I had was, there's some demographic data, age and long-term residency. Do those seem to be kind of in line with the participation broadly in the state?
Yeah, that's something we see with our other towns too. When we send out surveys and do these type of things, the participation usually skews older than the town as a whole. And yeah, I think that's just a function of who sort of has time to invest in these sorts of things. Yeah.
Well, again, I think it is very good that you were troubleshooting the sound AV system. We were, Ken and I talking about how the summary is nice to show these categories, but also the individual responses are helpful because they point to some things that if you see two or three people say the same thing, it's kind of reinforcing.
Yeah.
If it's just once, it's,
Mhm.
and then,
Cross that out there.
yeah, and then sometimes you see, oh, I love this, oh, I hate this, those kind of cancel out. But it's very informative for what our primary purpose is, and that's to revise the plan. Is going to start. And I guess at some point tonight, we should talk about that.
Schedule for
Yeah. Thanks to similar levels of participation, though I don't think unless we offer pizza every time we have to, we're going to get that level of participation.
Good pizza though.
Yeah. And honestly, that might be hard. Like, I guess thinking about like what would you want to get out of having that many people? I think when we start the drafting process, we're going to be going in a lot finer, like sort of line by line, looking at revisions. And I think that could get hard if there are, if we're inviting members of the, like, it might be hard to facilitate like a meaningful way for them to participate in that.
Town meeting. Yeah, a lot of people involved. We did that every time we met. The plan, we'd never be able to actually construct.
Yeah. Yeah, I think from the responses, it seemed like for the most part, people are in favor of the zoning either as it exists now or some minor tweaks maybe, but it didn't seem like, I mean, there were a few people that were like zoning or
Yeah.
restrictions, but generally it seemed like people were in favor of the zoning. So I think that's a bit of a vote of confidence in what we have and what we're doing.
And there were a number of topics that were really strong, and we should see if we can incorporate them. One of them, for example, was about local business. I know that this town has kind of ebbed and flowed with having a general store.
Yeah.
And yet, we can't keep the general store. It's this problem where people, for some reason, are not
The rent's
able to
too
make
high.
money.
Yeah,
My sense of the last one was that they were doing all right, but Sean was saying he just couldn't get any help, and so he was having to be there so much. It just got overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah.
That was not easy. That was part of it. I mean,
at one point they were talking about putting co-op in, and I think the co-op would be fantastic to be a small town.
I think the state has resources for like towns that want to start a local co-op. They have like sort of programs to get grant funding or like organized crowdfunding, because I think these things, it seems like there's a lot of people in the town who want this to happen. And if that's the case and there's all this energy around that, then it can sort of be, if people want it to happen, there's ways that it could happen. And the state has programs to support that for general store co-ops, I think. So that could be a potential thing that we could put in the plan or maybe look into when we're drafting.
The other problem was too, when the state redid the curbing on Main Street or put curbing in on Main Street. When Mark had the general store, he said nothing hurt his business more than when they put the sidewalk with the curbing in front of the common, because trucks could no longer pull up there and park because of that curbing. And Sean was saying that the curbing that they put in front of the store cut down on his parking as well.
That is a terrible spot for a store. I would have to say, there's not enough parking.
Well, you just gotta have.
Can't hear you.
It's gotta be a landowner willing to sell and with property purchaser willing to buy. That's not easy in a small town with limited space. Yes. So we'll move on to that with our planning or our plan revision meetings. But I implore everyone to take a look at these and take mental notes, maybe even write down a list of things that you see in here that are related to the town plan that we can incorporate into the discussions about the town plan when we get to that. Because if we don't really take advantage of this, it's going to be a waste because it's really valuable.
Yeah. So yeah, next meeting, I'll have some goals and policies that we can look at that are based on this. And we can look at the vision statement too. Something I also want to look at this meeting is sort of thinking about the structure and the form of your current plan. If there's any changes that you would like to make to sort of how your plan looks or how it's organized. before we start sort of going chapter by chapter, I think it's good to take a step back and think about like, are these the chapters that we want to have in the plan? So I brought the table of contents and I brought one copy of the full plan. I didn't bring multiple copies.
Fine. Our town plan's totally up to the town how they want to set it up, or?
Yeah, and I brought some examples too of other recent town plans that we've done, and people sort of have different approaches to the format, and so I thought it'd be helpful if you guys wanted to like get some ideas, some different options.
Yeah.
Different directions you can go in.
Do you have a visit tracker at NRPC that records how frequently people visit web pages?
We might. I could check in with our website.
Like a Google Analytics.
Yeah.
It might be interesting to see how many people look at it electronically,
Mhm.
if at all. I mean, I know I might be one of those frequent visitors.
Mhm.
But
This guy shows up a lot.
yeah, but I don't want to be counted 10 times, 12 times.
I think we should get it off the Google Drive, like we were saying, and just get it put on right on the, you can't really do a Google Analytics on a drive. We have ours connected to Google Drive. I don't think you can Google Ad Analytics. It's not going to tell you which one they're looking at. It's just going to say they're looking in the drive.
Hmm.
You'd have to have it directly uploaded to the website.
Yeah, the Richford one, I know to print in color. It's more colorful than that.
Can I make a statement?
Yeah.
The one thing I was disappointed in was the sidewalks. And I got a feeling it's because of the way we presented it. People look at the sidewalk, they see the new sidewalk, and yes, that's fine. But they forget that the South Main Street has no sidewalk. And that's where the residents are having safety problems and issues.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think maybe when we asked people to rate the quality of the sidewalks, they thought about sort of the sidewalks that already exist instead of like the
Exactly.
places where there should
Instead
be
of the
sidewalks.
safety
Yeah.
on the south end of Main Street. And you want a walking village, and it doesn't make it safe.
So it's weird. But thank you for bringing these 3 different options.
Yeah. And like these aren't necessarily like, we're just going to make it look like one of these. It's just to sort of,
No,
I
but,
think it's,
you know, what I was gonna say is weird is I like the landscape version
uh-huh.
because it's totally different from anything we've ever done. And I wonder if that might get people to look at it and definitely color,
Mhm.
at least the cover.
Yeah.
Color is important. So much of our stuff is just black and white.
Mhm.
And then essentially the content of Grand Isle and South Hero are the same. It almost looks like identical layout. But it's just that landscape version makes it, for some reason, seem more, let's say, comfortable, like easygoing.
Mhm.
How does this look like on the website? Because that's what I'm curious about with the landscape version on the website. Is it going to cut it off like on your phones or on your?
So on a computer, if you look at the PDF, it'll just sort of take up more of this rather than being vertical, it'll be horizontal. And I guess it might be hard to look at on a phone. I don't know who's looking at town plans on their phones.
But
Yeah, maybe people are, but I mean, you could probably turn your phone sideways if.
yeah, you can turn it sideways, but I notice when I do like UI UX designing for software that the landscaping is difficult to see on a laptop and requires like people to do a little bit more to it than to get it to view the way they want it to view wide enough, give it that, larger. So I'm just curious. These guys are online, I'm assuming, Grand Isle.
Mhm.
I could
Yeah, and
see
I
how that
think
looks.
more people are gonna probably look at the computer version than the paper one at this point,
Mhm.
day and age.
And I like the where the table of contents is, where it's got some color breaks.
Yeah.
Primary chapter.
Yeah, they sort of color coded the chapters, which was sort of cool.
Yeah, I do like the color coding. I'm not a fan of the landscape design, just because I know how difficult it can be to get them to work well for everybody that's not tech, savvy sometimes. But I really like the color definition. Hmm. I mean, you could always do one as a pamphlet and a book tag giveaway in landscape, and then have a portrait version online
Mhm.
um, for folks that, you know. But I'll have to look at those guys when I get on my laptop and see if it's a little easy. Usually it's dynamically changes
Mhm.
to fill, so it should be okay, but let's see.
Seemed like the box with the words describing the towns are popular and all of them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are really in lately.
I like those.
You get one of those too.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Looks like they changed the internet services here.
You got Fidium now. It's funny, this one has South Hero has Burlington on there.
It's funny.
You're not even close, buddy.
Maybe people said I like that it's not Burlington. That's what one person said in our survey.
Oh,
Sure.
not Burlington. That's funny. Okay, so it should be under ordinances and policies, or no? Where would they put it? It's emergency career.
Maybe under Planning Commission. It's on our website too, on the
Is it on your
NRPC. If you
website?
go
Wow.
there and then you go to Grand Isle.
Okay. Grand Isle safety toed footwear policy. What are they? We don't have that. I feel kind of sad that we don't have that. I'm gonna have to look on your website. I think they vary.
So yeah, it sounds like we have some ideas for formatting, have more colors and maybe some pictures, maybe color code the chapters like South Hero did.
Yeah.
And then maybe portrait or landscape TBD. Um,
We're gonna the two choices.
yeah, yeah, I could bring both of those next time.
Service.
I kind of like that they've got the starting and ending dates too, so we can always keep in mind that, oh yeah,
Well, that's a good idea.
8 years, we
Yeah,
have to.
Mhm.
do this
yeah,
again, or
that's great.
Where did you say it's on your site?
If you go to municipalities, it's under Grand Isle.
Oh, my goodness. There's a Northwest Regional Planning Commission in Spooner, Wisconsin.
Are you on their website?
I was like, I'm not seeing anything you're saying.
Yeah, ours is nrpcvt.com.
Okay, that's probably gonna lead me to the right place. Thank you. I was like, oh. Doesn't,
I always get Bakersfield, California when I try to look for your town.
yeah. RP site, and you said it's under municipalities. South here, we're looking at what?
Grand Isle.
You envision like using a lot of the same wording that we have in ours, or you think I mean, is it gonna be a total overhaul? What do you think, or?
I don't know that there's any chapters we're gonna have to totally rewrite. I think in places it could probably be more concise. Um, so I think your plan is pretty long. It's like 120 pages.
Is there a way to consolidate some of this?
Yeah, there might be some opportunities where we could sort of cut down a little bit while still, meeting all the requirements and also all the things that the town needs to discuss, but maybe try to make it more readable.
Less wordy. That's what like somebody that could just walk in, any of us can read it and it's not required to, because some of it is like, ooh, what are they saying? Like
Mhm.
sometimes I throw it into Chat GBT and it's interpret. What is it trying to tell me?
Mhm.
We have to add a couple chapters too, don't we, that we don't have yet, or do we? Like a
Um,
housing, I don't know, housing is in there.
yeah, I think you have all your bases covered in terms of chapters.
There, about that.
About what?
Communications, like I know, I remember reading the survey results, there was some talk about lattice towers versus.
Yeah, well, I think that could go under utilities, facilities, and services. Because that's usually where the cell and internet uh conversation happens.
Oh, do you not have their new one on yet?
Oh, um,
Because I found the old one.
oh, weird.
Um,
And oh yeah, oops. It's like to
okay.
control your phone.
That's okay. Go for it.
I've never looked at our website on a phone before.
Because I went to here where it says.
Oh yeah. Oh, that must be an old project website from
Yeah.
when we were updating. That should be speak too soon.
I know I'm getting excited, but then I'm looking at the bar on my phone going down. It's like using, there it is. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I don't think it looks bad at all, to be honest. I mean, I prefer portrait, but I'm not gonna fight. It's not my battle. It's not the hill I want to die on. That's what it looks like. You'll have to hold your phone sideways, but depending on what it looks like on
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how many people would use their phone versus.
I mean, and you can make it bigger. It's using the dynamic. So it allows you to adjust it. So you can make it bigger and smaller. So I think it just depends on. And I like having it all like right on one. Like screen and be able to see it like that versus this and kind of having to go, oh wait, what is it?
Like you can't really see this whole picture, see?
Yeah, shrink it down, it's just not,
It just, yeah, just losing all that leaves some side.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what else have we got?
Important thing is that we don't want to repeat it. So they're actually.
I guess any changes, if there are any changes you want to make to the table of contents and sort of the way that the plan is structured, and organized.
Well, the first three seem to be kind of like introducing the reader to the town plan. And then everything after that focuses on specific areas.
Mhm.
And then there's a summary of. I feel like it makes sense. I think it's more to try to make it more readable,
Yeah.
more attractive.
Something you could do, this is just a suggestion, you could the sort of the goals and policies and the implementation actions to the front of the plan. That's something that towns do sometimes. And that way, like if you're just, it's like the first thing you see, are like what are the resulting things we want to happen? What are we going to do to put the plan into action? That can be good instead of having it sort of, if it's at the back of the plan, it can get kind of buried under all the.
We're looking at those now, the current goals are an appendix.
Mhm.
And one, there's the appendix version, but then every chapter has the same goals again.
Yeah, at the end of the
They
chapter.
eliminate that are in each chapter. And why repeat them if we can only, if we could put them at the beginning and have like, these are the goals and objectives for chapter one. The way that they're organized in the appendix one
Mhm.
is by topic area. And if that was at the beginning, then you wouldn't have to repeat them in every chapter, which would leave out some redundant information if you're trying to get. But I do like your idea of sharing that at the beginning, because that's really what a town plan is all about, is what are the goals and policies. Well, for somebody to have a summary, I don't know why, but humans seem to like bullet lists. They don't want paragraphs.
Yeah.
And so we could start it off with the bullet list. There was one of the examples here, I think it was Richford, where they had this tiny little font in this table here.
Let's see.
That it's on page 2. To me, that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So small.
Yeah.
I have to say, I really enjoy Grand Isles. Now, I think I'm coming to your side. I really do like the looks of it. It looks more modern.
Yeah, that was kind of a thought too.
And it's more readable, like it breaks up, like this page has like this purplish and then the blue purple. I like that. I think I would prefer this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can take this and we can like sort of adapt it and like make it our own a little bit and customize it. But yeah, if you wanted to use this as sort of like a starting point,
That I liked was on Grand Isle, page 5. They have it's what they call community vision,
Mhm.
as opposed to goals and policies. Goals and policies sound so bureaucratic when community vision sounds like this is what people are talking about while having coffee.
yeah. Yeah, well, I think it's important to have both, to have I think the vision should go up front in the plan. And then the goals and policies are sort of like how do we get to that vision? And there is a vision statement in your plan right now, but I think it could be probably totally rewritten. with the community outreach that we've just done.
Yeah, see, and like if you're looking on page 30 and 31 of ours, you see all those bullets though? I love bullets, but it's not really, it's too many. Yeah, so if it was, what if it was Bill? Like if we could make them into,
That's why the landscaping sort of.
yeah, I think we should stick, I do.
Definitely organize the goals and policies a little more rather than just having one big list in each chapter. It could be helpful to organize the policies by so like under each goal have which policies is this goal for, rather than just all the goals and then all the policies. You could sort of organize them by things that go together.
Yeah.
Maybe. Some of what I'm talking about is jargon. And maybe some of the words that are in the survey results could be headings instead of kind of bureaucratic terms.
Mm-hmm.
We use language that they actually, if we saw somebody say something like one of them was small business, supporting small business in a small town,
Mm-hmm.
or ensuring communications for everyday life and growth. Stuff that, you know, if they see the language that they use, that could help people say, oh,
Yeah.
this is ours.
Good idea. I think some of those words were options for them to choose from, right? I mean, when I look at these other ones, you see these, you know, they've got these boxes with these here, a lot of those are.
Yeah, we could probably generate one of those based on our survey results.
Yeah, it's kind of like making it very Bakersfield specific, like that's what
Mhm.
Grand Isle did. They said island life and daily living.
Yeah.
Here, it's rural life.
Yeah, or small town. Yeah.
Supporting bedroom community with opportunities for work at home.
I do. I think you've changed my mind, Bill. The more I've looked at this, I really like the landscaping idea. And I like the looks of this town plan. We'd have to get a nice picture.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be that hard. It's
Yeah.
Bakersfield, right?
I'm sure we can find a nice picture of the town.
But I also like the texting in here because in ours it looks like the old font, and this font looks I don't know, it just looks more readable to me.
You need more white space and less black.
Yeah. And this, yeah, they sort of change up the size of the text a little more here.
Yeah.
For the different headings and things.
No,
If they can.
they can't see it clearly. They
Yeah.
will. And I think I really like the layout because it tells you, like, even if you could do like something like this, you know, that projects like it's, you know, I forget what they call them. Oh, they call them something.
And you know, another thing that I noticed different with Grand Isle, I hate to confuse them all as a.
Don't tell them we're stealing.
Yeah, but they have just 8 chapters.
Yeah.
We have currently 14.
Yeah.
And I think
We're a smaller town.
when you start to get larger numbers, so if we could combine some of our chapters,
Mhm.
like utilities, facilities, services, transportation, energy, maybe they all go into one chapter.
Yeah.
And maybe education, childcare, housing, go into another, economic development, land use, go into another, something like that. So that we're not sticking to this same, we're cutting it into so many little pieces that it's
Yeah.
missing a little bit of its
Too much.
connection together.
Can we put all the maps in the back like an appendix instead of having them strewn throughout?
You could. I think there's some situations where it's helpful to have the maps in the text so you can like refer to things on the map.
Break it up and
Yeah.
especially if you, like every few pages, you have a graphic, doesn't
Mhm.
have to be every single page. It just lets the brain relax a bit.
And I like I don't think these are emojis, but I like that they
Yeah.
look like emojis.
Yeah, little symbols
Yeah,
in the
symbols.
lists.
That, we need to make it so like the younger, generation would like to actually read some of this,
Well, they eventually become us.
Yeah,
There was time when
we were the young.
and we
What?
were.
I'm still there.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mm.
So basically what we're saying is modernize us.
Mhm.
Like make us look that quality.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely,
Let's
I
do the
can do my
t-shirt.
best.
Let's show Burlington who the real B town is.
Yeah.
And, I think cover picture, we had a tendency in this town to focus on like a building.
Mhm.
When I like how Grand Isle has focused on the land
Yeah.
and the colorful products of the land, but the town is in the background.
We can even
Find a vista like that here.
we do a contest and have people in the town take a picture and send it in, and whatever one we pick, they get like $100.
Well, okay, you always go to give them.
I do.
It's-
It's fun. I know money and food are the
I do like
motivators.
the idea. You give away money, but
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
to
A
say
picture
we're
contest.
covered the town plan, we would like it to be a photograph in Berlin, in Bakersfield,
Hmm.
that shows Bakersfield's richness and send them here.
Mhm.
That would get people interested in, I think.
We can even put it on Facebook and have people vote for their favorite, put all the pictures, let people vote for them.
Yeah, or we could like decide the finalists
Final five,
and then
yeah,
people could vote between them.
yeah.
I like that idea. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before.
Oh, good.
Anyone that I have.
Yeah, Grand Isle.
Yeah, and the the other thing that we have here, I am very lucky, my house looks towards the west. We have beautiful sunsets.
Mhm.
frequently. And actually, my land runs north-south, so I can see sunrises too. But this is a great image here, and might even put this on the cover of the thing that says we're looking for a fountain pen cover.
Mhm.
Say, this is kind of.
This is what we're looking
This is what
for.
Grand Isle did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be something that you might find
Mhm.
fun to do.
Yeah. Yeah, your picture here. Great.
All right.
Well, those are some great ideas. And yeah, next time I can bring sort of like a format draft of like a format template, and then also we'll start going through the goals and policies and updating them based on the survey results.
Is to start, because one, you want it at the beginning, and so it helps us to say, this is what the reader's gonna see first. So let's make sure it really captures their genuine interest.
Yeah.
And then it'll help us from that point onward to work on the individual collections of topic areas
Yeah.
to remember those goals in pop.
Yeah. I think in terms of our process, it'll be helpful to do that part first, and then we can sort of let that guide the updates that we make to the text when we're going into the text of the chapter.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Great. Anything else on town plan?
Well, again, thanks for your preparedness to come here with this content to stimulate a good conversation.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad it was helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And will there be? I think one thing for us to just remember is that we can make it color for the website.
Mhm.
But some people might print it if they did on black and white,
Yeah.
because that's all they have.
Mhm.
So that might be something just to think about is this image okay if it is printed black and white?
Yeah, we can make sure that it still looks like readable and everything too in the black and white format. That's a good point.
And I think the town usually provides what, like 20 or 25 here. They have printed 20 or 25.
I don't know how they do it. I know, keep thinking about the meeting day
Yeah.
bulletin. How they print that and how they have a web version of those. But I don't know, I think they do have a handful of them.
Mhm.
It'd be nice to have some copies at the library too,
Yeah.
because I know the town offices hours can be kind of hard to work with sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Protected.
Take them home, they could. You don't have it.
Then you
Yep.
can use it, do the color, do like couple of colored ones. So it's nice and presentable for the public. And then the rest of them print at their own house. If they want, or print here, but you're gonna get black and white.
And I think another thing in I'm just looking at the South Hero cover, if we can have pictures of the town throughout.
Mhm.
As opposed to just that kind of generic pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we do the contest too, we could have a lot of pictures, even the ones that don't make it on the cover could still go other places in the plan.
I mean, you could even do like a display, have 4 on the cover if you wanted, or 1,
Mhm.
and then just have them sprinkled throughout.
Yeah.
Yep. So pretty much everybody's entry would make it.
Mhm.
Typically, I don't know if we're gonna get like 20 or 30.
And then I think there's some value in a page like this sometimes,
Mhm.
where it's graphics. Like, I'll tell you an example. If I'm eating lunch, I can't like turn pages for them eating.
Mhm.
But if I have a page that's got a lot of different things that I can look at, I don't have to turn the page. Just stay on that page
Mhm.
and dive into it. So it's not a bad idea to try, like, here's a page of data,
Mhm.
figures, maps, graphs, tables, and then the rest can be more like we're talking to you. Like a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, I think definitely like where possible, it makes sense to use data and charts rather than text. I think it,
Get away from the tables, like,
yeah. Yeah,
my-
there's a lot of tables in the plan right now.
I was looking at the tables, I'm like, oh, that's
Honestly, I think the version of the plan we have now, which was dated 2017,
27.
18,
2018.
is very similar to the
Mhm.
plan 5 years before that.
Mhm.
And clearly, it's now 12, 13 years later, it's time for
Yep.
total.
Overhaul.
Yeah, yeah, and we definitely, yeah, it's a good opportunity to do that, having a bigger, larger scale update with the municipal planning grant and everything. So
The same people on the planning commission, and except for Nikki wasn't on it at that time, but it was the 4 of us.
It's true.
Yeah, yeah. And, obviously, long hours.
Yeah.
Gary's been on and off a few times. Been on and off the commission a few times. You've been on and off the commission a few times.
Yeah.
You can't stay away. Don't blame you. It's exciting stuff.
Too fun.
So, do we want to move on to talk about the DRB discussion some more?
Yeah, I found the select board meeting discussion really interesting.
Mhm.
I want to make sure that it's not totally select board driven.
Yeah.
Because I got the sense at that meeting that they were just going to do this, and I'm not sure if they really thought about some of the ramifications of the process. For example, getting more people to participate more often. We've been here doing it, and the reason that all four of us have done it many years,
Mhm.
because there's not a lot of people that volunteer to do it. And if we have to do both, that's a pretty significant weight to put on people, and so hopefully the select board will recognize.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, and it's still up to all of you too. Like, I don't think they can just appoint everyone to the DRB without your permission.
I'm not really feeling it that way. We were thinking that they may not know how difficult it may be to find like 8 to 10 people, that it may end up being 4 or 5 to 6 people.
Yeah. Well, 5 is the minimum
Five.
for a DRB.
What I'm saying is between the two,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
If you have, say, 8 to 10, that's 4 or 5 different people.
Mhm.
That's harder to actually get in this town than what we probably can do, which is 2 or 3 of us being on both.
Mhm.
But not all of us can be on both.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna wanna be on both.
Mhm.
And is there a restriction on that?
No, the planning commission and the DRB can have the same membership, and I think select board members could be on the DRB too. Yeah, I think the important thing is that I don't know. It's important to have some sort of board, whether it's a DRB or a ZBA. The town needs to have one of those, and right now it has none of those because everyone quit off of the ZBA basically. So even if as a temporary solution, like people were to volunteer for the DRB gets created. I think I was looking at the minutes of the ZBA, and I think there were only like 3 or 4 meetings in the past year for the ZBA.
Mhm. It was very few. And it was only because we had a specific case that came.
Yeah, a bunch of those were the same case too, right?
It was all the same case. So we hadn't met for 3 or 4 years. That's why I was surprised. They were calling me in and they're like, well, you're the one that's left in town. Everybody else has, moved on.
Mhm.
And then to come to find out in the middle that they had to reinstate me because apparently my time had run out. I'm like, wait a second, after the first hearing, wait, no, mine ran out. So they had to reinstate all of us. So it was kind of, and here's a problem. Here's what my fear is with just doing a ZBA is you don't have the knowledge. It was very tough
Mhm.
and it was very hard. We didn't have all the rules. And when you had the DRB and the DRB replacing, it'll be one training for all and everybody's on the same page.
Mhm.
And it's not confusing over, okay, what do we get to rule on and what does, the planning commission rule on? But it's a group training. And then you have the power sources here that have been there forever. But it was hard. I think it really hurt the town not having proper training.
Yeah.
And that's a main inconvenience is then you have to have separate training because it would be separate. ZBA and the planning commission would have separate training.
Mhm.
Well, it's also tough to be only meeting once every 4 years and to stay on top of things.
It is really
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so my point, the DRB would only need to meet as needed. If the ZBA was only meeting once every 4 years,
Right.
then that means that the extra workload from moving to a DRB would only be basically that. So like,
It would only be on need. We only met when somebody brought something to the zoning board.
But wouldn't the DRB handle most of the subdivision?
yeah, it would, but
Be all of it.
but
yeah.
you guys were already doing that part anyway as a planning
Yeah.
commission, so that
That's kind of how I was seeing,
Mhm.
maybe you can elaborate.
Yeah.
That if we went DRB and planning commission.
Mhm.
That the DRB would do what the zoning board of adjustment does,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
what we do in hearings on subdivisions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that would probably be a monthly meeting,
Yep.
because you have either ZBA type stuff, when you're talking about
Mhm.
land, applications, permit.
Mhm.
And then you've also got subdivision, and that the planning commission would only need to meet like quarterly.
Quarterly, yeah.
Yeah.
To see, are things in town going along with the policies and goals
Yep.
of the plan? And are the things that are developing that we should consider for the next revision of the plan?
Yeah, that's correct. And yeah, as long as there's not any sort of big project going on, like this town plan update, or like if you were to do a big zoning bylaw update, those are situations where it makes sense to meet every month as a planning commission. But if you don't have something like that going on, you could move to a quarterly meeting.
It could even be
fine.
biannual, right? Just twice a year at that. I mean,
Yeah,
or as needed.
yeah, as long as you're meeting your requirements and yeah, still carrying out planning work. But yeah, my point of what I was saying earlier was that right now you guys are doing most of the work of the DRB anyway as the planning commission with subdivision review, and site plan review and all of that. So, I think the overall responsibilities wouldn't change that much. They would just sort of get split up into these two boards.
It's important. That we would meet monthly as a DRB, have hearings on subdivisions and cases of building or land use. And then every quarter we would even extend that meeting.
Yep.
To open up the planning commission.
Yeah, it could be the same night.
Say, how are things going?
Mhm. Yeah.
That would be a burden on
Yeah.
whoever the 5 people are that would be a part of the DRB and potentially the planning commission.
Yeah. And I mean, we've had meetings like that where it opens up with a hearing and then we work on the town plan. And I think it would be similar to that. It would just be we're the DRB and now we're the planning commission.
Is there any rules that can help us for a smaller town if we can't meet that 5? I mean,
Meet
for
what?
some reason,
Oh.
we can't get 5. I mean,
Well,
I'm hoping everybody from planning commission would go, but
you need to have at least a 5-member board, but you can still have a meeting as long as there's a quorum of that 5-member board. Yeah, so as long as three of those 5 can make it.
That's a good number, because it's easier to get a quorum of 3,
yeah.
go to 7, then it gets to be harder to guarantee you can get 4. Regardless, I think it's pretty good. I think one of the things that would be important for maybe each of us to have would be, is there statutory language that we really need to know is a must follow for DRB and planning commission when we have those 2 as the normal town planning efforts?
Mhm.
So that we know, okay, this is definitely a DRB thing, but now we're gonna move into planning. We need to maybe warn it as planning versus warning it as DRB.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, so all of your land use review functions would be under the DRB, and the planning commission would just be planning. And I think, yeah, I think certainly like we could provide training too on the sort of the variances and the conditional use permits, the things that the ZBA did before that you guys would be assuming, those extra things we could provide training on too. Yeah.
We've not done that.
And we're the only board that is not currently getting a payment at all. And I would really suggest that we should be getting something. We shouldn't be the only ones not getting something. We should be at least getting, I don't know what, I think it's like $20 for the night or an hour or something like that is what
Mhm.
the select board is getting. And just because that also keeps, people to, want to come, or not that I wouldn't do it. I've been doing it for free for all these years, but it's fair.
Mhm.
It's time and it keeps us like, I feel like more transparent. I feel like.
Yeah, well, yeah, and especially if you all are stepping up and volunteering for the DRB, I think it would make sense to
Mhm.
ask for that too.
We'd be doing both. So that would be, that's a hard, and the ZBA that was tough. I can't tell you, if you watch those videos of me, it's ridiculous. I don't even watch them because I was crying through half of them because,
Yeah, I mean,
Not what board you're on, it's what the. policy is.
yeah,
You know, we've had some things here in planning commission where there was some contentiousness.
yes,
And
yeah.
you get that periodically, and that big tall house, which was the whole
Mhm.
reason.
Yeah.
it's The ZBA meeting so frequently, and why they actually had to modify the bylaws in this
Mhm.
emergency meeting and
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. Is one of those contentious things. We've had
Mhm.
a handful of them over the years here, like the one with the land and where the fire department is. That
Mhm.
was very.
We've had a couple with families that were rough
Yeah,
too.
we had some families that were trying to get subdivisions
Mhm.
that weren't meeting all of the requirements.
mhm.
But I think it goes to the training too. Like I was used to the bylaws for, subdivision. And then I was like, oh, wait a second, these are not anything.
Yeah, well, and it's
Oops.
Just
It's-
feel like
it's-
we should have got to the town
Yes.
should have got to the training.
Yeah.
Regardless of
Mhm.
what board you're on. It
Right.
should have been provided, and that's the failure. It's not that ZBA didn't have training, it wasn't offered.
Yeah, and I think it's also hard in the ZBA system, like that board might not necessarily have to meet that often. And then when something comes up and they do have to meet, it's like you're not sort of meeting consistently and are in
Yeah,
the
I think it
habit
had been
of,
like 3 years since we met. It was when we had that with, remember that one when Brenda was in and we had to go up there and it was like some way up on a side road and there was a contention amongst, yeah. And that was when we had to have a lawyer.
Mhm.
See, but I think if you have if most of the planning commission is on that same board, you have the people that created the laws backing up the laws,
Mhm.
so it's kind of,
Yeah.
So what are the plans for the select board relative to making this change? Are they going to, I know when we attended the select board meeting virtually, I think all of us did. Those who've attended.
yeah.
They talked about that they were going to make a decision. Is there a timetable for them to make that decision?
Well, I think I remember that where we left it was that we sort of said that we would discuss it at the planning commission meeting and then go from there.
Yeah, John was pretty clear that he didn't want to go forward with it unless you folks were on board. I think everybody knew how I felt. Like,
So are
Yeah, they
you-
need something though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they have nothing right now, so they need something
Mhm.
just in case.
So
it comes up.
are you the vehicle for them to take action, or are we the vehicle? Like, should we tell them, we've met, we think a DRB would be fine.
Mhm.
We actually think that most of us that are currently on planning would transition to DRB and help with the planning commission.
Mhm.
We're kind of looking at monthly DRB meetings and quarterly planning commission meetings.
Mhm.
And do you think that that's what they're looking for from us?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, the next step in terms of making the change would be the select board would pass a resolution sort of changing it over to a DRB from a ZBA. And establishing the board, they would need to say who's appointed to the board, like immediately upon the establishment of it. And, that's not necessarily, well, yeah. And then it would set forth the terms. It would be the name and the term. So I think if you all are going to be the people serving on that board, they would need to know that.
They probably want to do this at this town meeting in March.
Yeah, and they could do it then. They could also do it
Could do it
before
now.
then. They
It
could,
can be at any time.
if they pass a resolution, yeah, it would take effect immediately.
That would be the best time.
Mhm.
So are they expecting you as a consultant to them to tell them that we met and these are what we?
I certainly can do that. I don't think I'm sort of in any like official capacity. We were just sort of,
I think we were hoping Nikki was gonna be here tonight, cause
yeah, yeah, 'cause she's on both boards.
been the one that could have
Mhm.
just that to them, but.
Because one thing, I would be willing to send an email. to
Okay.
Chair of the select board and say, we met this date and we discussed it. Would you be willing to serve on the design review board? Design, yeah. Would you?
Mhm.
Sure.
And you? I mean,
I know Nikki probably would too, but.
yeah, it's obviously impossible for us to state what she would say tonight, but that at least 4 of the 5,
Yeah.
all 4 present,
Mhm.
were willing to serve in the design review board.
Yeah.
And at least temporarily serve in the planning commission until there was more time to figure out. Because I think we're at a really critical point for the planning commission,
Mhm.
because we're actually revising the plan.
Yeah.
I think we would have to all agree that we would kind of do what we're doing now anyway.
Right.
Which is we would hear some periodic, occasional subdivision hearings, but we would also have after that our discussion about the revision of the town plan.
Mhm.
And we were planning for that to be this year 2026 anyway, so it's not really like we're making a lot of bigger commitments.
Mhm.
If you're going to vote on it at town meeting, it should be in, the town report.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think you have to get the things in by the 17th of January.
Is this an appointed position or a voted in position? Cause I thought there was I thought one was
Let's
appointed.
see. When it's initially established, that's definitely appointed. But yeah, let me see if it specifies in here.
Seems like this should be something that select board could take care of
Mhm.
without town meeting necessarily, I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely like initially establishing it,
Yeah.
they can do that through a resolution and just appoint
just to
people.
get people in.
And then after that, it can be
Planning commission's elected. so-
Yeah.
Same sort of group.
Am I up again this year?
Well, yeah, actually, my wife asked me to check because we should verify who is and make sure that we
Mhm.
get a petition up.
Yeah.
We need to.
Yeah, where's the nearest town?
there?
Get it? Mm,
So how do we find out who's up?
well, it says in the town,
Oh, yeah, the town.
town report.
This is last year's.
I almost think I'm up.
Year ending 2024. Is that the one this is?
Probably says when our terms expire though in there.
Yeah. I was there. I think you know.
Still looking for a town highway guy. Join select board publication school districts. Isn't there somewhere on the,
They had it for 2024. So they'll be looking at publishing the 2025 one.
Right in the front, Gary, I think. It's like right in the first couple pages. Gary. Right in the front. It's right in the
Yeah.
first couple pages, yeah.
Yeah. No. Planning Commission. Here it is. So Heather expires 2025. So were you voted on last year? Okay. Nikki expires 2026. Tammy hers expired 2025. Okay, let me tell you about this. I was appointed when
Okay.
Tammy didn't run.
Right.
so it's Nikki and you.
Like to not run, but if you couldn't get anybody, I just wouldn't be appointed for a year.
Uh-huh, okay. 1 year contract?
No.
1 year 1 year contract for you. What's that? So I'm good?
But you and I are good. So, and does there may be somebody out there that wants to run? Actually, maybe. Heather is.
Maybe?
And then
Nikki know that?
is she expires 2026.
She has to be voted on this
Right, so
year.
she needs to get her petition in, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that the planning commission and the DRB don't have to have the same membership like
Yeah.
forever. If someone wanted to step up to one of the boards or step down from one of the boards, there could be some differences in the membership and that'd be fine. But I think so yeah, you wouldn't necessarily have to be committed to both of them forever, but I think just in this initial point where there needs to be a board would be great.
I think that Heather's probably right. That's the planning commission might not even need to meet.
Yep.
Let's be. You're not big town where they're
Yeah.
considering
Hmm.
revisions to the plan because of the absolute need to have some new traveler on something.
Would the planning commission be in charge of the bylaw revision?
Mhm.
Yep.
So that would be coming up probably.
Are we doing that to sync, like right after the town plan? Isn't that what we did last time?
Well, that was the way we did it before.
Yeah.
And that was
2017.
Oh, so we did the bylaws first and then the next year. Or do we do them
Well,
together?
it was the plan first and then the bylaws.
Yeah, generally you're supposed to do the plan first and the plan sort of guides the bylaws.
It just got adopted in 2008. No, we voted on it March 7th of
17.
2017 and
Last town plan.
adopted in
dates
November.
are.
So when we did the November elections, we snuck it in the ballot, November elections.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's when we did it.
Hmm.
So
Well,
that,
because the town plan is just, the select board just makes the decision. But the bylaws have to go. before.
correct, yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe that wasn't then. That was just when we
I think
adopted.
the work was done.
Mhm.
Where town plan then bylaws, it was, the vote was. Well, out of sync with the.
A year later, though, year and a half later. Doesn't seem right, does it?
No.
Effective on March 7th, 2017, and then the town plan was November 26th, 2018. We must have done the bylaws first.
I don't remember it that way,
Yeah, that's not how I remember it, but
but I'm trying to explain it.
Yeah.
Could be wrong now.
How often bylaws need to be revised? Is there
There's no requirement for your bylaws never expire, but it is a good idea to sort of take a look at them every now and then, especially if they haven't been updated in a while. Or yeah, after the town plan, if there's any changes to your land use plan and the town plan, then those should be reflected in the bylaws eventually.
I think we'll have to anyways, because the select board made the change to the structure of the home size. So I think doesn't the town have to adopt that change as well, or?
So yeah, they did it as a temporary,
Yeah.
as an interim zoning
And-
update. So that's only in place for, I think, up to a year,
Yeah.
which would mean that it would have to be a permanent change. And I think the select board is thinking that town will take a bigger look at its bylaws after the town plan is done anyway. So it
Yeah.
could be coordinated with those updates, any other updates that happen from that.
Is there funding to help us do the bylaws?
Yeah, you can apply for a municipal planning grant for that.
All right,
Mm.
good. Thank you.
So, another option is that select board meets next Monday night. Are there others here that would be able to join?
Yeah.
Either remote or in person?
I can, yeah. Yep.
I can do it. Yeah. That would probably be the best way for us to do it if we all got I think you would be there.
Yeah.
What's the semester then, but we could get position we're talking about, joining the select board meeting next Monday night. Do it remote. That way we can tell everybody.
Mhm.
Great. So you're gonna manage that communication, Bill, with the select board, or
They do it in the morning. We used to just write it on the calendar.
oh, get added to the agenda, you mean, or?
Yeah. Um,
You could just reach out to Tammy. She'd probably put you
yeah,
on it.
I'll reach out to Nikki and say, hey, I'll have.
yeah, and this document has a sample resolution on it too. So if they want to do a vote and want to like adapt this language, yeah, for sure.
Send it all by email to everybody.
Great.
There's nothing wrong with doing that by. This is just making arrangements for.
Yeah, to get on the agenda. Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited. Can I keep this? Because I really like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sorry. I like the town.
Yeah, you guys can keep all this stuff if you want to.
Well, good work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for coming, Luke.
Yeah, thanks.
For all the samples.
So the next meeting,
See what we want. You know.
is scheduled for.
February 2nd. Yeah.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, is everybody
Kinda like
good
that,
for
yeah,
February
it's some-
2nd?
Because some people would be like, hey, why is my house on there? Why isn't?
Two.
February 2nd's the next meeting?
Yes, 2-2.
Yep.
Where are your 2-2?
Hmm, Groundhog Day?
Oh, groundhog? What?
We won't be able to leave.
That is,
This happened over and over and over.
oh no, that's like my idea of a night.
We adjourn this
All
meeting.
right, we adjourn at 8:45.
Can you imagine having planning commission meeting over and over? and over? I like you guys, but.
Yeah. All right.
Adjourned. Aye.